Good day, my name is Christelle from Frans de Klerk Independent Technical Analysts. Charles wanted us to look at Coeur Mining, listed on the New York Stock Exchange. Charles, I want to change this to a line graph because it takes some of the noise away. And we can see, although the stochastic is on 37, and remember, the stochastic explains that elastic band. The more overbought it is, when the stochastic is above an 80, the more probable it is that the instrument would retrace. The more oversold it is, below a 20, the more the probability there is that the instrument will rise to higher levels. So here on a 37, it's neither here nor there, not the ideal place to take position or to exit a position. But what we can see is that lower highs are visible on this graph. And the next lower high will be confirmed when that strong support breaks at $9.10. We can see that this high on the week of the 15th of March at $9.96, that closing price on this line graph, is a little bit lower than this closing price waiting at $10.35. So the next higher low will be confirmed there below $9.10. Some might even wait for $8.77. Below $8.77, the next lower high will be confirmed on Coeur Mining, which implies loss of momentum and that we can see lower levels going forward. Also take note how close that 40-week moving average is, waiting at $8.18. As long as the instrument is above the $8.18 40-week moving average, we assume that the long-term sentiment towards the instrument is positive. Only when that $9.96 level and the level of $10.35 starts to change into a support again, can we assume that the momentum to the top will continue. If I take this trend line and I do a horizontal trend line, and I need more than one touching point, so I want to extend it a little bit, we might have a possible inverse cup and handle formation here. And if I change this to a line candle graph, we might even have more touching points on this graph, which means an inverse cup and handle formation tells us that the top of the instrument might be in place if that level of $9.35 remains a resistance. Rian wanted us to look at British American Tobacco, BTI, listed on our JSE. In fact, we had quite a few viewers asking us to look at British American Tobacco. Now, let's first look at the indicator. Our stochastic is sitting on a 59 or a 60. It's neither here nor there. We want to really consider taking profit on any instrument when it's overbought and there is a divergence, when that shorter blue line starts to break through that orange line. But have a look here, it's not overbought territory yet, but I can see that my blue line looks like it's running out of steam. And that implies maybe loss of momentum. So I go back to my price action on my graph, and I can see that I've got a teardrop candle with a long tail at the top, which implies a selling pressure. It tells us that the top of this week was 592 Rand 45, but there was enough sellers to bring the price all the way down to close at around 564.95. So that means the sellers are stronger. More importantly, look how close we are to that red line, the 40-week moving average. And that is the line in the sand for long-term investors to highlight. Is the sentiment towards the share positive or negative? And the fact that that 40-week moving average has changed into a resistance at 566 Rand and 8 cents rings the first bell for BTI. That there might be warning that we can see further declines. Also take note here, and how important this 40-week moving average is. In the week of the 28th of September, BTI tested that 40-week, could not change it into a support and retraced from it. And that is seen as an ugly negative technical goodbye kiss, where it tested a resistance, could not change it into a support and retraced from it. And it will be very interesting to see if the share does it again. Will it test the 40-week? Could not change and keep it at resistance and retrace from it, because that means then this possible left shoulder, head, and right shoulder might become more of a reality. And I want to draw this neckline in for you here that you can see it, Rian. I mean, critical neckline level waiting there around 509 Rand 43. That can take the share a lot lower. When will the warning of the head and shoulder formation become obsolete or off the table? When there's either the right shoulder, which is waiting there at around 590 Rand 73, or the top of my left shoulder, waiting at 609 Rand 99. When those levels starts to change into a support again, we can all take a sigh of relief and know that, hey, the warning is off the table and the instrument can reach for higher levels. Also take note that on this right shoulder, we might be sitting here with a possible double bottom. I've got a retracement, found support, and a bounce, little bit of a retracement again. I can't do anything with that middle retracement, but another retracement, found support at a little bit higher level than the previous support. So I can't call it a double bottom. I must rather refer to it as a cup and handle formation. So should that resistance of the neckline that I've drawn in there, waiting there at 587 Rand 67, starts to change into a support, this possible cup and handle formation can take BTI a lot higher. So we're almost sitting here on a critical edge of the knife scenario with BTI. The big test will be that 40-week moving average waiting at 566.09 and the support and resistance levels as I've highlighted. And if we look back, and we look at the history of BTI, we can see, and especially if you zoom, that this head and shoulder formation is clear. So these levels needs to start to change into a support for British American Tobacco, and that 40-week moving average needs to start to change into a support in order to take a sigh of relief knowing that that head and shoulder formation will be off the table. IOV Storms wanted us to look at gold. We've spoken previously, previously about the inverse cup and handle formation on gold. And we can see first loop tested the support there on gold at $1,762. Second loop changed that 40-week moving average, that red line, into a resistance at $1,854 and just changed it into a resistance. Yes, my instrument is oversold. Yes, my K line has broken upwards through my orange line, which confirms a positive divergence, which tells me the probability of the instrument to bounce to higher levels is there. But I want to combine it with a turnaround candle to have confirmation that my price action reflects that what my indicator implies. And that tells me, one, I've got a bullish engulfing candle, where the green candle pierced more than 60% of the preceding real body and followed then on that 15th of March, remember these are weekly graphs, another bell hold line candle that tested and changed the level of $1,726 into a support. But now this week we are sitting with a Harami candle, almost a bearish engulfing candle. So now the big test is, will that trend line waiting at $1,759 change into a support? It has to do that. And then the big test is, can it change the 40-week moving average on my gold price waiting at $1,859? Will there be enough buyers to change that level into a support? What worries me about the gold price, and I've mentioned it before, is that this inverse cup and handle formation can take, and I'm going to be greedy, assuming that we're short, I'm going to take the full target of this inverse cup and handle formation, which means it's the length of the cup projected downwards from the neckline where my formation will be confirmed, which means the gold price can possibly, and I'm saying possibly because nothing is a definite, possibly go back to $1,448. $1,448 can the gold price go to should that full formation play out. Only when these resistance levels of $1,859 starts to change into a support again, and that level, that critical level of $1,957, when these levels only start to change into a support again, can I assume that we can see another rally in the gold price. Superman wanted to look at Chrometco, and I know that is just your Twitter name. It just feels funny to call somebody that, right? Chrometco. Beautiful graph, Superman. Love the fact that my 40-week moving average has changed into a support. I also included the volume here, and you can see because it's quite a thin share, it's not a lot of volume. You can see all the dashes. Some days there's almost no trading. But you can see almost in that week of the 14th of September last year, a lot of volume has taken place. So when a share price starts to rise, after spike in volume, as technical analysts, we assume that the sellers have dried up and that there are only buyers left. And that is very, very positive. The other thing I also want to mention, and I want to take it back to a line graph, because Superman, this is a beautiful example of a technical goodbye case. It tested the 40-week moving average, retraced, confirmed a higher level of support than the previous line, and broke through that resistance. So when that 8 cents level changed into a support, which weighted exactly at the 40-week moving average, two critical levels that had to change into a support, I mean, this share just flew to higher levels. So 8 cent, below 8 cent, the first warning on Chromeco will be visible again. Your next strong resistance that needs to be overcome is waiting at 12 cents and then again at 15 cents. Yes, it is overbought. So let's hope those two lines, the K and the D line, continue to reach for higher levels, because even if an instrument is overbought, it doesn't mean it now has to stop making new highs. The momentum to the top can continue and continue to escalate even if it's overbought. So have a look at your candles, keep an eye on them. As you can see, the share every week continues to make new recent highs, and that tells you that the buyers are protecting that share price to higher levels, which is seen as very, very positive. Keep your protection at 8 cents as your line in the sand, but this is a beautiful graph, Superman.